Hey guys, welcome on back to the channel. If you are new here and like what you see, please go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. It really does help the channel and helps me to continue making content. Today is going to be a very chill video. I'm going to go ahead and talk about this painting a bit. I probably won't get into too much detail about technique here as I actually painted this a while back and I'm now just getting to do the voiceover. In the same regard, I do apologize for the not super great video quality on this one. I recorded it on my phone and I can definitely tell that it's not quite the same as my camera. If you aren't interested in hearing me jabber, I will take no offense. If you just want to mute me and turn some music on or a podcast while painting this, I totally understand. I will link everything I can in the description below for reference. I do have Amazon affiliate links below if you do decide to purchase anything I'm using today. It does not cost you anything extra, but if you do purchase through my links, I do receive a small commission on the products, which I will obviously use to purchase more paint products and show you guys. So that's also a great way to help support me in what I'm doing. So when I sat down to do this, I kind of just wanted to play around with some paints and paint something loose or abstract, and this is what happened. I went into the painting with literally no plan, and I just let the watercolor tell me what to do. And honestly, that's a really important part of working with the medium. Other mediums let you cover mistakes up with more paint or use an eraser, but watercolor can be really intimidating because everything is transparent, and if you mess up, it really just becomes a part of your painting. There are some ways to work around this, but for the most part, what you paint stays and you have to work with it. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and try to tell you guys the colors that I used to make this. So this is the Magella palette that I keep my Jane Blundell Ultimate Mixing Set in from Daniel Smith. If you have yet to watch that review video, I will go ahead and link it here so you guys can go check it out. I have another tin where I keep copies of all my Daniel Smith and Winsor & Newton watercolors in, but if I just want a limited palette or if I'm traveling, this is the palette that I grab. So I for sure know that I used Ultramarine Blue, Burnt Sienna, Hansa Yellow Medium, and Quinacridone Rose from Daniel Smith, and I think I grabbed some indigo from White Knight St. Petersburg. I have actually also just done a review on those, so I'll leave a link to that one as well. Now, before I get into the other tools that I'm using to make this painting, I need to say you do not need the nicest, most expensive paint, paper, or brushes to start painting. This is a beginner video, and yes, you can paint it with Canson paper and brushes from your local art supply store. So please do not feel that you need these to begin as an artist. I am pretty deep into the watercolor world here, so I've sold some paintings over on Etsy, have done a few pieces for friends and family, and like I will continue to state, I receive some of these items as gifts from family. I'm also here on YouTube making videos and I enjoy the art of reviewing these things. So by no means do you need to go out and get this paper and these brushes. Use what you have and start painting. I am using Arches or Arch cold pressed watercolor paper. I believe this sheet is 9 by 12 and 140 pound in weight. You can find it at your local craft supplier, but you're going to find it a lot cheaper online. Or if you have a coupon for Hobby Lobby, that works too. I will say that this paper is expensive. It runs most people a bit more than $1 a sheet. From what I hear though, and through a bit of my own dabblings, watercolor paper is arguably the most important supply when painting. You can use student grade paints and inexpensive brushes and get similar results with artist grade paints and cheap brushes when you're using nice paper. I'm working on a video about paper, so I'll leave the details for that, but if you are looking for a bit of insight on that topic, look around for cotton paper. This sheet is 100% cotton, which obviously contributes to its cost, but if you are a beginner and aren't looking to spend quite that much on paper, Fabriano makes a 25% cotton paper that's quite a bit less expensive and gives you a taste of what that cotton surface can do for your paintings. The brushes I'm using for this painting were really new when I painted this. I actually received them as an early birthday present from my parents. Thanks, Mom and Dad. I know you're watching. I have a Da Vinci Casaneo size 2 and 4 here, and I believe I was using them for the very first time. The Casaneo brushes are made from synthetic squirrel hair, which means that they are animal friendly and vegan if that's something you look for in paint products and tools. Additionally, since they are a squirrel synthetic, they hold an outrageous amount of water, so they're really nice for the larger washes like the ones at the beginning of this painting. At this point in the video, I'm using an Escoda Reserva Kolinsky brush to paint the first wash of the trees. As a disclaimer, this brush was rather expensive and will probably remain the most expensive brush in my collection for the next several years. I had been watching the price go up and down on Amazon for some time, and I ended up paying $32.46 US for this size 8 round brush. I just checked over on Amazon and it's currently running about 45 US dollars. This brush is from Escoda, which is a brand I'm really all about. Each brush is made by hand, and for this particular brush, the hair was actually sourced from the Kashmir region of West Siberia. I'm sorry, I'm not pronouncing that right. As another disclaimer, this brush is not vegan, so if that's something that bothers you, this would be a brush to steer clear from. As a consumer, I'm very cognizant of where my products come from and do plan on limiting my use of natural hair brushes. I have limited myself to minimal animal products and will always disclose natural hair products to you to help you make more informed decisions. I think that's about everything that I used to make this painting. Some of you have asked why I tape my paintings down, so I thought I could address that here, as you can clearly see that I have some blue painter's tape holding my paper to my mat. The tape holds the paper a bit more flat than it would be without it. It also creates nice, crisp edges upon removal. There are a lot of techniques that professional watercolor artists use to hold their papers down, including wetting and stretching. I do plan on learning and showing you those techniques, but for now, and for all you beginners, this is probably flat enough. If you have worked with watercolor paper at all, even the expensive stuff, it tends to buckle upon exposure to water, which is caused by the material, cotton or cellulose, drying more and less at different points. The wet areas sink and the dry areas rise, which results in a buckled paper that can move your paint in all sorts of directions. Taping does not solve the issue like more advanced techniques that I just mentioned, but it does help a bit, and it allowed me to get some nice flat washes for this painting. I have used regular masking tape, but after I ripped one of my paintings while removing it, I decided to switch over to painter's tape. They do also make delicate painter's tape, which I have, but have not opened yet because I'm trying to use up my current roll of painter's tape. I will let you guys know how that goes and maybe even do a comparison video. Do any of you use delicate painter's tape or washi tape? How do you like it versus other tapes you've tried? Let me know in the comments. So now I'm actually just going to go ahead and let you all watch the rest of this speed painting tutorial in peace, and I will talk a bit more about my experience painting it at the end. I hope you all enjoy as I work on the finishing touches. happy with how this turned out. I think it's always just nice to sit down with your paints and play with them. So play with your paints, play with your supplies. I think it's a really nice thing to do, especially if you're feeling uninspired or feeling like you've had an artist block. Stick with something for a while, even if you think you messed up on it. Keep working around it until you like the results. Sometimes our best stuff can come from the times we make a brush stroke in an unintended direction or paint drips where we don't think we should. So thank you guys so much for joining me for this tutorial and chat on products. We'll see you next time. Bye!